Welcome back. This will be number 3. Okay, so let's get into Munchausens. And this one gets kind of a little interesting because, in essence, what Munchausens is a person who is either faking an illness or causing themselves to have an illness in order to get attention. Poor woe is you. You typically see it, people like poison themselves with rat poison, or they give themselves like a lead poisoning, light lead poisoning, to give themselves all these symptoms so that they can get attention from nurses and doctors and hospitals and all these different things, um, because they're seeking validation. And this goes into a lot of what's going on in the world right now. You have, and this is part of, I also play this back to kind of the Democrat playbook on how they want to destroy the family, and they want parents to not be the parents. They want the government to to raise the children, or the parents to be second. It's like Hillary Clinton's little book, the government raises children and the parents are second. And that's it goes to the core of destroying families, and having the government, you know, being in charge of indoctrinating your child with all of the right thoughts that, whichever political agenda is good for them right now. And so uh, a lot of this plays into that. The other thing that plays into this is, again, the Democrat playbook is to be popularity based. It's popular vote. It's when you're in school, if the popular kids were the ones who were the prom king and the prom queen, and then they had the cheerleaders following them around, and they had the sports kids, you had the football kids, maybe it was the quarterback is the prom king, and he's got all the other football guys. You've got their cronies, their groupies are all following them. That's where they're getting all their voting power from, and then they ostracize all the ones who don't follow their rules. Well, when the popular kids decide, you know, like with Adam Sandler, peeing your pants is what all the good kids do. They all pee their pants. Well, if all the kids are being transgender, or being transvestites, or being weird with sex and doing all this great stuff, and all their friends are joining in, because God forbid they don't want to be turned into the outcasts like the outcasts. They're afraid of that. Popularity and attention are very big for kids, because kids need a lot of attention. They do. They are just sponges for knowledge, and you are just shoving as much as you can in them while you can. Um, but they are very, very emotionally based on, oh my God, what does everybody else think? I need attention. I need attention. Give me the attention. Give me the attention. And so they play into that, and that they lead the trend. They want to lead the trend, because leading the trend says, okay, you believe in this trend. Okay, by the way, great, you're wearing the miniskirt that we're all wearing, and everything is great, and you've got the alligator on your shirt. Okay, that's good, but are you transsexual too? And it's like, oh, I don't want to get ostracized, so I'll be, they jump into it. All right. Um, but again, having gender dysphoria, okay, being transgender, someone who transitions because they're gender dysphoric, is an illness, okay? It's an illness. It is no different than cancer. You are giving yourself cancer on purpose, and going through the treatments of cancer on purpose, or faking cancer and going through the treatments of cancer on purpose to get attention. Um, there's a lot of these people out there, and they fall into a bunch of different areas. You have um, all of the people who are ostracized because they're fat, or ostracized because they're ugly, or there's a whole bunch of women. It's kind of one of those things they love to do on the other side when they make fun of them, is they point out all these fat, ugly, whatever people, and they're like, nobody's going to screw these people anyway, so what's the point? And it's like, Okay, well, the reason they're doing this, I want to be part of the popular kids, is because they think if they're part of the popular kids, they might get some, and they're tired of being ostracized. They're tired of all of these things, and instead of doing something that's more appropriate, like going to the gym or just walking or doing something to get yourself in shape, you know, it's, oh, you're the horrible person because you won't date fat people, or you won't date me because of this. So now you're bad, I'm good. Um, if you look back to the 80s, we had this Jerry Springer show. It was the greatest thing in the world. And the reason people watched it, okay, and the reason people watched reality TV shows was because it's like, look at all these horrible people. I'm better than that. Thank God. Oh, thank you for showing me all these horrible people. I'm better than that. Okay, this is kind of it's a basic human insecurity to sit there and go, I'm better than everybody else, and that's what they're doing. I'm this, so I can ostracize you, and I can put you down, and I can do that. And um, along the same line of this, I need it for my attention, is to do a lot of name calling. They do the bully thing. The bully is very big with these people. There's a lot of the illogical arguments, and they'll say one thing, but then it's like, okay, well, you're saying that you associate as a woman in your brain, so it's as the word as you identify. You're saying that what you think in your head is as you're, that's a comparison word. You're as a woman. You're saying that you think like a woman. To make that statement by itself, you're acknowledging that you're not a woman, but that you are similar, or that you want to be that, but you're not. But then you claim to be a woman. See, you can tear them apart with the logical stuff, but when it breaks down to it, they're going to sit there and go, oh, you're wearing an ugly t-shirt and your hair's messed up and all the rest of that, which is one of the really cool things about being the one to do this, because they can do that to me all they want, and I don't care. um, there's nothing they can do. I don't need their attention. you know uh, Literally, when I go to Walmart, I don't go there to oh, I want to get some attention. I'll sit there and bug somebody who looks like they're real grumpy and go, hey, 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 hey. And they'll look at me in the window and go, uh-huh, and I'll smile. And they'll smile at me, and I'll be like, oh, see, that's better. And that's it. It's part of the whole, make your attitude worth catching, you know, type philosophy that I use for pass it on. Make happiness contagious is what I like. Um, but what these people are doing is they are intentionally either faking an illness or or causing themselves to have an illness, because you can convince yourself of all kinds of things. It's the my truth thing that I talk about. The my truth is you've lied to yourself so much that you actually believe your own lies. So now your lies have become your truth. So when you say, oh, that's my truth, or that's my reality, it's like, yeah, that's your little la-la land that you made up in your head, but it's not reality. Okay? Your truth, yeah, it's not the truth. Okay? Your truth is delusional la-la land that you've made up with all your lies. So a lot of these people, they can either convince themselves that they have these diseases and illnesses, and mental health illness. Again, it's an illness. It's a cancer. Why would you want it? And if you want it, then it shows that you have a problem. That, yeah, that's bad. Okay? So they convince themselves they have the illness, and then they go through treatments that are absolutely horrifically body, changing. You have a mental illness. The body's perfectly okay, but you're going to destroy the body. And we take things like, for depression, you'll take drugs that help with the serotonin levels that increase your mood so you're happy. So you recognize that the body has a natural set of chemicals that it's supposed to have, okay, and that those body chemicals that are natural to the body can cause your brain to be a certain way, and if they're out of whack, okay, this is kind of how basic instincts are gone. When you are born, you were born with the male body or the female body, and your brains look a lot alike, but they also have some very significant differences in how they operate, because the chemicals that go towards the ultimate goal of any animal species, which is procreation. The ultimate goal is to spread your life as far as possible. If ants could do it, the whole world would be covered in ants. So yeah, these are people who, they have Munchausens, in essence, okay? They're doing it for trend. They do it for popularity. They do it for social credit. They're out there on YouTube and Twitter, and they might even be trying to profit from this and become a grifter of it, but they're in essence they're doing this for all of this attention. And most of the time, it's when you're seeking attention, it's because you're deficient somewhere else in your life. Either you don't have a job, you're not able to do a job, you're basically worthless, and all the rest of these things. So then you go, I need attention, give me attention, and you have all the time in the world to work on getting attention. So you'll make up whatever you need to do. Munchausen's covered. Stay tuned.